Welcome back to Wing Chun, Sifu Vik here. Today I'm with Hamid. We're going over the turning stance, sidling stance, or all the other different names that are given this stance. So let's go over the traditional way that people seem to be doing this. We'll go to the whats and the hows and the whys and why nots of it. So, if Hamid sets up his normal Irish stance, and here's the basic traditional stance. Some Wing Chun practitioners will have the toes forward in, that's for a different tutorial, let's just stick to this for now. Okay, so he performs a traditional turning stance. Okay, now if you look here in the traditional method of doing it, the knees stay locked. That apparently helps him turn, and he's sitting back on his heel. The objective is that the purpose of this is that he wants to try and allow force to be guided by, right? So what's happened over here is, for instance, we'll show how they attempt to show an application. I'm here, Hamid punches, I can't go forward, so I have to turn, escorting his energy away from me like a bull and a matador. You know, the bull goes straight through the rag. Yes and no. So here's the issue with this. He's running, and that's the idea of the turning stance. The whole point of the turning stance is to improve your, well, one of the main points of the turning stance is to improve your position. Okay, so here's a turn. He's gone through. Actually, I'll do it. Sorry. As he comes through, I've done this turning stance, right? Now I've got out of the way of the force of the danger, but has it really improved my position? Now let's get to this. If Hamid does a turn for me, and he turns, maybe he hits as I've come through, right? Has he improved his position, yes or no? Yes, if fighting was this stationary thing. This is good for a pose, for a picture, but look, this guy, first of all, the likelihood of him knocking me out with a singular punch is low, right? People who get into fights are generally fairly tough, or I could just have a hard cranium or whatever. Secondly, I'm not just going to stop. This isn't like karate where they just go one, and then he does his defense back. I'm going to come through, he's going to deflect, and I'm going to come through and just careen in and start throwing other punches if I'm any kind of aggressive street fighter. So I haven't really improved my position. I've literally just ran away from his oncoming energy, thinking that I can just finish him like this. Secondly, it's the weight distribution. So if we do the turn, he does a turn, very traditional, knees are together. I mean, look at it. He's actually sitting on his heel. So all of his energy is, it's not towards me, I'm the attacker. He wants it here, he doesn't want it sitting on his back heel because look, he has nowhere left to go. He has nowhere left to go as he turns. Next is his knee position. If I was to be coming forward, okay, look at his knees are away from the energy, away from me. His intent, his focus needs to be on me. His next movement is going to be towards me, hopefully. All right, because that's the objective of the Wing Chun system. When the way is clear, you go forward. General principle, first thing you learn in your Wing Chun class. So I'm coming forward. I'll turn to the side. Hopefully you understand what I'm saying now, right? His energy is going here. I'm coming forward. This is not good for his knee because your knee should really track your large toe. If you do lots of practice where you're turning and your knee bows in the end you're going to ruin it, right? And Wing Chun's holistic art should be helpful, should be good for your body. It works with your body, not against. If his knee's in this position and he's squeezing in, this is bad. Also, because he's squeezing in, it's hard for him to do his next movement, because obviously here, he's just posing for a picture, it looks very nice, right? But in reality, this is no good. He needs to have dexterity, he needs to have buoyancy, a spring. He needs to be loaded and ready to go, okay? So let's fix this. If we take on to the front again, he turns, right? His knee should be over the toe. So look, immediately his energy is coming towards me if I was to be attacking straight ahead. Super important. The next thing is, he shouldn't be putting all the weight on the heel. He has nowhere left to go. He has nowhere left to go. And a drill that fixes this quite nicely is this. I have my hand on Hamid's chest, okay? If he understands his 7 key components, he knows how to root into the ground. This is going to be hard for me to push him back, okay? So I feel the pressure, it gives me a little bit of pressure back. Good, good, all right? Leg drives through the ground, through his hips, through his core, into me. This is good, right? Now from here, he turns. If he turns incorrectly, I'm going to keep an even pressure on him. If he turns incorrectly, look, I overrun his position and he falls. Okay, I want to feel a pressure, the same pressure, even pressure back to me. Remember, this is a drill, just to make sure that you don't sit back onto your heel. So it gives me some pressure. So as he turns, now the pressure is the same. Is the weight on your heel now? Perfect, right? His knees towards me. He's ready to go. He turns back to the center. There's an even pressure. He turns again. This is perfect. He's ready to go. Watch from here, right? As he's driving into me with his rear leg, right? He can now step forward. You see, there was no shift. There was no shift of weight. Look, if he turns, puts his weight on his heel. Now, if he moves forward, you can see there's a shift of weight, and then he steps. That's two movements. We're supposed to be efficient here. So here, correct weight distribution. He's already loaded, and he goes. He's ready to go. It wasn't a rock, a preparatory movement, and then a slingshot forward. He just went. This is super important in application. You don't have time. Those 0.1 of a second, they count. The next thing we can do over here is to help with the turning. There's a really, really simple drill. Arms out. He performs the turning with the punches now. This makes sure that he has got the correct distance. Because what people do is they turn. If you punch me, right? I turn. I'll do it this way. I turn. They do the turning stance, the weight's on the heel, but look, I can barely touch him, right? For application, this is no good. For combat, this is no good. As he comes in, I've got to wrap and envelop around his force. Look, I can still guide his force away from me, and I could easily hit him, and hit him with my rear hand also, as opposed to just running. Also, I'm in perpetual movement. While I'm still moving, I'm able to think and do other deflections or other attacks, as opposed to going one pose for the camera and then come through. I'm thinking, wrap, envelop, go around him, and finish the situation off. Super important for application's sake. Okay, so a nice drill for this to get the distance right is, sets through, he does his first punch, second punch, and then he gives the third punch and turns. And make sure that he can hit me. If he sits on his heel, there's a distance. That's better. He squares up, 1, 2, turns again. Of course, I can have a pad here. However you want to drill it, but you get the idea. He's always at the correct distance. Other details about the turning stance. There's two methods to turn what this points to. So basically, we could be in Chisao, for instance. As he attacks me and he comes in, I can turn him. If I have the greater force, I can turn him. If I've got a better structure, I can turn in the spine. The turn doesn't just relate to just the stance, by the way. You can turn in the spine, in the hip, in the leg, but for now we're talking about the turning stance. I can literally turn, if he comes in very strong, I can literally turn his stance. He's off the line. Or if he's too strong for me, I can turn. Okay? As he comes in, I turn. I envelop, I go around his force. Okay, so these are a more applied version, a better idea of how to actually use a turning stance as opposed to just running and get yourself out of danger. It's not about just getting out of danger, it's about improving your position, getting a better line. In application, in free fight, when there's no connection, as he punches, I can just change the angle here. I can either feel that he's too strong and change the angle, or I can use my eyes, and as he punches, I can just cut and come in and careen forward with a whole load of strikes. So try these drills. Remember, everything that you do in a drill, you should be able to use in application, and your Wing Chun will start to work.